Hello. Say hello. Say hi. Let's make room for Daddy. Whoa.
Yo, you gonna bring it closer?
Bring it closer.
Yeah. Man, that thing bright.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what the light's saying. I don't know why you want it.
That light should be. I don't want to bring it any closer because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. Good evening. Good evening.
So,
My name is Tamika Means, and this is my hubby,
Mr. No Cap.
Mr. No Cap. He might be capping tonight. Who knows?
Hey, man, I don't know what's going on.
I'm just kidding. I am the prison wife coach, and we are helping women who have incarcerated spouses. Our goal is to help create healthy relationships. Make sure you can recognize whether or not you're in a healthy relationship so you can stop worrying. You can get refocused on your goals and never feel like you're wasting your time. So we come on here every Friday, Marriage After Lockup, and talk about real issues, not that fairy tale fluff stuff. You know, we going through it just like everybody else is, learning in the process. So here we are. We're a little over a year of him being home, and I feel like every month brings a new adventure. So, woo, he ain't feeling too good. So tonight we are talking about handling conflict. And I think with any marriage, well, not think, obviously with any marriage, you're going to have to deal with conflict because every day is not going to be just yay and just filled with joy and happy because, you know, you have disagreements and, you know, the fact that he's just coming home from prison adds another dimension to everything. So, hey, Carla, what's up? What's up, girl? I think just in general, when you're in a relationship, if we're not even talking about prison, Jewel, I finally caught you live. What's up? If we're just talking about relationships alone and not even dealing with the prison aspect of it, you guys already know it can be challenging, right? So, and if we're talking about relationships in all, one of the biggest things definitely that leads to divorce is money. Money's the biggest topic. And I know that's a big topic for some prison wives about when they're in a relationship, when they're sending money to their incarcerated loved one. Money can be an issue when they come home before they start working, or, you know, we've talked about issues prior, you know, in and out, different jobs. Hey, Jocelyn, what's up? What's up, girl? So, yeah, there's different aspects of what can come up or what conflicts can be about. But I kind of want to talk about some definitely key aspects to handling conflict. You are really quiet today.
I mean,
do you want to be here tonight?
Yeah,
it might be one of those nights.
No. I'm cool, man. I really am. I really am cool. I ain't got no complaints.
I guess it's like I'll be doing the talking, huh?
Or him. Trying to keep it light now.
He's trying to keep it light. You got nothing much to say. All right, well, we'll just start off with this. Definitely, I think there's certain things you should keep in mind just in general. Number one, I think it should be set in stone that you're going to go into the relationship with a plan of not being disrespectful, right? I think me and Mike from the very beginning have always established that we weren't going to cuss at each other, weren't going to call each other out of our name, things like that, right?
Yeah,
Was that? Did we talk about that?
No, I mean, what's understood don't need to be explained.
No, I mean, I guess we probably didn't have a conversation about it because we both felt the same way, but
Yeah, like I mean, me, I come from a different aspect, whereas though, like I'm a big guy, you know what I'm saying? So if I get to cussing and hollering and stuff like that, then you know, automatically the threat level like go up because I'm a big guy, you know, and I don't want to put myself in that situation, you know. On top of that, like I don't date bitches and hoes, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why I'm gonna call you that if I don't, if that's not who I'm settling down with, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm mad, you know, that's not, I mean, that's not even, that's not even what's up, you know. And a lot of times men, because they mad, they say that type of stuff, and you inject that energy into a relationship, and you wonder why all that's why she start acting like a bitch or start acting like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the moon don't reflect off the sun reflect off the moon. So you know what I'm saying? If you're instilling that into the relationship, then that's what you're giving into the relationship. She just giving you back what you're giving her. You know. So I mean, that's just not something I do. You know, if I mean, I never have for her. But I mean, that's me. You know, no judgment.
do you think it's a lack of respect when a man does that, calls a woman out of her name?
I mean,
What do you think?
like I said, you know, I mean, for me, it's a lack of respect. But
What do you guys think?
that's for me. You know, like I don't believe in the universal right or wrong. You know, so if two people in a relationship and that's what they do, then that's what they do. You know, but for me, it's a lack of it's a lack of respect. You know, so I can't and I won't necessarily condemn the next man or the next couple, you know, for that, you know, but at the same time, you know, all I can do is just speak for me and mine, you know, like we don't do that. You know, something is grossly out of order, you know, if those things happen, you know, so but again, you know, I mean to each his own, you know, if those words are injected into the relationship and she doesn't feel like it's a lack of respect, but I guess normal, then that's them, and they should probably seek some sort of counseling, you know, because that's abnormal. But again, that's me, you know. I really try not to get into the whole judgment thing, you know, because I got my own shortcomings. Just because I don't do that, that don't mean that I don't do shit, you know. So, you know, we all got different things we struggle with.
Carla said, "I agree. Lack of respect. I can't get the name out right now.
Julie?
Julie, thank you." So I agree. I could definitely say that is a boundary that I have. Boundaries are huge. I think even just starting a relationship, even if you are starting a relationship with a man who's incarcerated, who you've met while incarcerated, or maybe you already knew him, you should already that is something you should discuss. Like for me, that like that's a deal breaker. Like you should be discussing what your boundaries are early in the relationship. For me, that's definitely one of my boundaries, and it definitely sounds like it was one of his boundaries too. But at the beginning, we never really spoke about it. We didn't have a conversation about it. So, but I've done it in the past with my man and seriously regretted it. Now I know better. It's disrespectful. I feel like once you go down that path, it's like you break the seal.
Yeah,
it's like there's no going back.
That's Pandora's box, right?
Yeah, I feel like, which is why I've never, like, if I get to the point where I'm that mad, like I feel like cussing him out, I literally just walk away, or I tell him. Well, it's hard if your man's still locked up. You can't. It's hard hanging up on somebody, but
yeah, like that's a deal breaker for me. Like, don't bang on me.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't bang on me. You bang on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I take that like graveyard serious. Like,
that was another boundary that we had. Like, I would never want to like just hang like this, like boom, without no. There was probably one time I remember, was one conversation we had where it was just like I could not talk anymore, and I was like, I'm hanging up. Yeah. I'm hanging.
And I still took that person.
And he was so upset. But I didn't bang on him.
No, she ain't banging.
But I warned him like 80 times. I'm hanging up. But
I don't do that. Do that. I think like and I mean, energy can't be created or destroyed, just transformed, you know what I'm saying? And when you introduce that particular type of negative energy into a relationship, it don't never go nowhere. And when it don't go nowhere, you never know where it's going to. You know what I'm saying? And what doors is going to open up. You know, so
that kind of reminds me
I try to stay away from it.
That reminds me of drugs. When they teach you in school about drugs, if you start with weed, it's a gateway drug, and it leads to other stuff. You know how they say that?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about when you're
know?
Disrespectful to your spouse.
Because if I call her a bitch today, you know, and we get past that, somewhere along in my mind, I'm going to feel like she weak. Somewhere in my spirit, in my subconscious, I'm going to feel like she weak for putting up with that. You know, and when that happens, then you start treating them as such. You know, so it might be a bitch today. You know, it might be a push tomorrow. It might be, you know what I mean, a slap the next day, you know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, you in a volatile, you know, situation that is not peaceful or, you know, moving in an upward trajectory. So, no, I mean, it's negative aspects. It's a yin and yang with everything in life. But that particular yang, no, I'm not with that.
Yeah. So I definitely say, like, if you haven't already, definitely have a conversation about what bothers you, what you consider disrespectful. Because if you continue to, let's just say you feel disrespected, but you don't ever speak up for yourself. I feel like a lot of women who are in prison relationships fear speaking up for what they feel inside, or if they feel disrespected, because they have this fear that the relationship's going to end. But in actuality, like, you saying what you need in the relationship, or you saying, you know, how you feel about how you're being treated or not being treated, doesn't help the relationship. When you speak up, I don't know if I said that backwards, but when you speak up, you allow the relationship an opportunity to get better. Because if you just sit there quietly, you're just going to you're going to get frustrated. You'll start getting angry. That stuff starts slipping out in the conversation, and then you get to the point where you feel resentful. So we got to get over that fear. I think definitely, like, for myself, and since he's been home, actually it started before you came home. Like, I slowly started getting to a mental space of just not being afraid of how he's going to react and not being afraid of conflict.
I mean, that's weak. That's weak in and of itself. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, Mom Dukes.
To be afraid of conflict is weak. You know, that said, like, yo, it be a fine line between different, like the line is so slim between different, subjects and topics. Disrespect versus not disrespect. Speaking your mind versus judgment. Being judgmental.
I get accused of that.
She's judgmental. But at the same time, that's her. And for me, like that is, that's a stick in my craw right there, because I'm like, yo, I really try not to judge nobody, because I've seen the best of life and I absolutely seen the worst of life, literally, and in the middle, lies peace. You know what I'm saying? Because the best in life ain't peaceful and the worst in life ain't peaceful. So living somewhere in between, that's where the peace at, but a lot of times we in society will be chasing the best out of life and not even knowing what that is, but just a better lifestyle, or better this, better than what I have. You know what I'm saying? And you get so caught up in chasing that you forget to be peaceful with what you do have. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can look around at what I have now and remember when I was sleeping on the streets of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Or locked up fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying? So I be at peace with what I have now. That doesn't mean that I don't have ambition to get more, but that just means that I can understand and live in the moment now. And when you don't, then your energy get disrupted. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not at peace. You like, and then nothing will make you at peace until what you're chasing. And when you finally get it, you be like, damn, that's what it is. That's what I was chasing. Oh, I got to find something else. You know what I mean? That's why you got all these rich gurus doing, they might go to space or do yoga or do something. They keep chasing something because their peace is disrupted. You know what I'm saying? Me, when you seen the best and the worst, you know what I'm saying? You know how to be peaceful. And for me now, for, the past, I don't know, few weeks or whatever, I just really been trying to keep my energy clean, man. Just keeping my energy clean. Not to say that I don't be pissed off about stuff like that, but just not be a reactionary and figure out what my wrong is and keep it pushing.
I think I was thinking about this the other day. You not being reactionary has definitely helped me. Sometimes when we get upset, and I don't mean like just us, like people in general, when like if your partner says something that pisses you off or does something you don't like or doesn't do something you want them to do, they don't do something you think they should do it, we have a tendency to just react. And I would definitely say because you were very reactionary, and it used to get under it used to piss me off, and I definitely noticed that you haven't been doing that, and I think it's really helped with keeping the peace in the house. Definitely.
Yeah.
Another big thing that what you got to say? Oh, he agrees. He's agreeing.
No, he want to stand up.
He want to stand up? No,
he does.
Another thing definitely is tone of voice. We had another conversation about that today. I was pissed off earlier. He was asleep. And earlier today, he said he was going to make some spaghetti. So I noticed the time was 6:20 and he was still asleep. So I came down here to cook the dinner. And he yells out into the kitchen. I can't remember what you said.
I said, "Hey, was you cooking that?" You know what I mean? You said, "Yeah, it's 6:00." I said, "I was going to cook it." You was like, "It's 6:00." I'm like, "And?"
No, you said, "And?"
Because when you say 6:00 twice, I'm like, "All right, what that mean?"
His tone of voice was
you
so
know what I'm saying?
nasty.
Like, I mean, I thought it really wasn't
It
though.
was. I was
It really
so angry.
wasn't.
I stormed out the room.
Listen, this is a thing.
Who?
If we want to keep it a buck, she was angry that I was sleeping all day.
No, I wasn't angry.
You feel what I'm saying?
Thought I was angry.
Well, that's the way it came
That's
off.
what happened. He thought I was angry. I simply came downstairs. He was still on the couch.
She ain't want to make them meatballs.
I didn't.
She ain't want to make them because she already know
Michael, here's something you gotta realize. I've been living by myself for 6.5 years. I know how to get up and cook.
I know you do.
I know how to get up and cook.
I never said you didn't, but that don't mean that you wanted to.
I don't really enjoy cooking. But
I know.
But I am entrenched in look, I have spent years programming myself to get it done. I get shit done.
I mean,
that's what I do.
At the end of the day,
That's what I do.
all right, look, but at the end of the day, don't nobody make a meal plan but me for every day. So when I don't cook at a specific time, then everybody looking at me like, yo, what's to eat? What's to eat? What's to eat?
Okay, but you made it seem like it was a problem that I got up and started cooking.
It wasn't.
That's how you made me feel.
No, it wasn't. I was gonna let you make the meatballs.
But my point was, it was late. By the time dinner was going to get ready, it had been really late.
It wasn't though.
Dude, like I want to eat it like 4 or 5 o'clock.
I know, but it wasn't late though.
The point is, I was going to go cook it myself, and he felt guilty that he was still on the couch.
I didn't, because I'm busting down a job right now that's killing me. So at the end of the day, if I was tired, I was tired.
Okay, but we other people trying to eat. We ain't gonna wait on you if you too tired.
Hey,
we can get up and do it ourselves.
You shouldn't either.
All right, but don't yell at me.
I ain't yell at her.
See, me.
I said and. And she walked past. She walked past, slammed the door. I'm like,
yes, I did. I said,
what was that about? What was that about?
And I'll never slam doors. I just slammed the door for him.
I said,
but I know I was really angry though. I really was. He came up. He called me and I didn't respond. I said, "Don't ever talk to me in that tone of voice." I was upset.
I said, "I ain't know it. I was.
Don't talk to me in that tone of voice."
I was so like, I'm like, man, I don't know what you talking about.
No, I really was angry though. I really was.
But see, this is the thing, yo. This shit be cutting 2 ways, and it be a double-edged sword. Cause she can come off like how she want to come off. Like how she came off, and when I respond in the same fashion, it's don't talk to me like that. I'm like, yo, you just brought all of that energy to me. I was just waking up. I'm like, and you brought all of that energy to me, but okay, fine. My bad. I apologize.
You have a history of misinterpreting stuff. When he be half asleep, he be here like you wake up and be like, stop making all that noise. I'm like, nobody was even making any noise. That's that post-incarceration stuff.
No.
Yes, you do. Oh, my God. Yo, you did it today. Yo, he would wake up from a slumber and be all grumpy.
Listen, my kids be loud as hell.
Yo, they were upstairs watching TV, not making a single sound. I promise you. They're making all that noise.
Hey, yo, they be loud as shit, yo. They be loud as shit.
And we be looking at him like,
I don't be with
oh my goodness. Yo, let me tell you, they gonna wake up like this. That's what they do. True, and I feel like sometimes when I express myself, I have to be careful. Oh, walking on eggshells. Because my man is still locked up and I don't want him to be upset with me in there. Oh my God, Carla, stop it.
Stop!
I'm sorry. I heard him.
I don't be with all that, man. I really don't be with all that.
Okay, but seriously though, Carla, don't feel that way. I used to feel that way. You gotta express how you feel. A healthy relationship entails you being able to speak your truth and ask for what you need. You gotta be able to be comfortable with asking for what you need. If you don't feel comfortable, then that's a sign that it's unhealthy.
Fix that.
So don't be afraid, because it might be you might just be assuming. He was watching you the whole time while you were talking.
Of course he was.
We could just be. Sometimes we make these fears up in our head, and we just assume that what we think is going to happen doesn't actually happen. It's no different than any other avenue or area in our life. We have these fears of I don't know. What's an example? Maybe there's a goal you want to achieve, and we have fear of failure, and all it really is just made up lies in our head. It's the same thing in our relationship, and it's like a misconception or this false belief that if we express ourselves, that they're gonna go and take their frustration out on somebody else, or maybe they're gonna go hurt somebody, or maybe they're gonna go into a deep depression, or maybe they're not gonna want to be with us. They're gonna think we don't care. They're gonna leave us. Oh my goodness, the list goes on and on. Y'all gotta cut it out, really, because I totally believe if you just let go of that stuff and you talk about what it is that's on your heart, the one don't have more respect for you. You're not gonna be a pushover. They're not gonna think they can walk all over you. Like, you got to stand on 2 feet. You really do. And it takes for a while for some of us to get to that point until we realize, man, they're going to be fine. They'll be all right. He's a big boy. He'll get over it. Meatball sounds so good right now. Oh, man. Oh, hell no, says AJ. AJ, you always on the other side of the fence. We're going to be upset in there. He going to be upset in there. I'm saying what I want, when I want, and how I want. I know, AJ. AJ, you just be on your own. AJ always got it.
You said cold soldier.
AJ don't care. She said she gonna say what she gotta say. But yeah, we gotta be strong enough and have the courage enough to speak up for what we need in a relationship. Definitely. You can't just sit on the sidelines. It's not about him. It's not always about him. It's not all about what he wants. You can't make him priority number one every single day. Every single day, you can't just say that it's his needs over mine. That's not a relationship. That's one-sided.
Yeah.
And if he can't see that, and at least have he should at least want you to be satisfied and happy in a relationship. Conflict is going to come up.
That's hard to do in prison, though. It is. It's hard to do. Like, on this side of the fence, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, man, look, I gotta get me right. I get y'all right. But you know, I usually handle it backwards. I try to get them right first, but I definitely get me, because at the end of the day, like, you got to. But in prison, it's a certain amount of selfishness that goes on behind the wall, because you're not used to getting you. You're not used to someone doing for you, someone having your back legitimately without strings attached. So when you embark in a relationship, you know, it is one-sided. It can be one-sided. It can be selfish. But I mean, those things can be worked out. You know what I mean? Like with conversation.
It's funny that you use the selfish. So when I'm coaching, methodology that I use, or what I coined it, is the selfish method. Because you hit the nail on the head, because we as mothers, as wives, girlfriends, or whatever other responsibilities we have as women, and especially women, we tend to put everyone else before ourselves. And we are the most unselfish people that exist. Like, just while you were gone, like, I never got my hair done. I didn't get my nails done. Like, I literally spent all of my money on my kids, literally, and you. It's hard. It took a while for me to break out of that place of not doing for myself, because I was
and I don't like it. I don't like it personally. Now that I'm here, I don't like it, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna spend money on me. You know what I mean? And it ain't that amount of saving or bills or whatever in the world not to spend money on yourself, and you feel good at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage it. You know, but when you in there, like, you can't see that stuff because You don't have no mail coming to you with notices to pay and this, that, so forth and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you do, that stuff straight junk mail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even worried about that.
This is a great segue to talking about one of the biggest conflicts post incarceration. Well, two things. Just because you spent years, as you call it, the incubator, you spent years not having to worry about bills, not having to, say, cook or clean. Well, you clean your area, obviously, but in a smaller capacity, cleaning a house or whatever other responsibilities that come with living in the daily world, is a huge difference. And the transition from coming from prison to a home where you're just thrusted into all kinds of responsibilities. And if you're a father, oh my God. So you're a husband or boyfriend, father, supplying, paying bills. One of the hardest things to work through, I think, is just that transition of him moving into that space where he starts taking responsibility. And I'm going to warn you guys that it takes a long time for that to happen. Like, it's been over, what are we at, month 14? It's been a little over a year. And we're really, it's a slow process. We're moving into that space where we're starting to share a lot more responsibilities. And I mean, it feels good. Definitely feels good for me. And I feel like it feels good for you too.
I mean, yeah, it do, right? But it feel regular. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it just feel regular. Like, all right, when I brief her and I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? My end cover to October, I'm working on November right now.
They don't know what you're talking about.
They probably do, but I ain't gonna go into all of that. You know what I'm saying? If I see my end cover, my end cover. You know what I'm saying? So
do y'all even know what he's talking about?
That said, if I didn't cover my end to October, it's less stress for me. Why? Because I'm ahead and now I'm just working on November. So I don't really care how the rest of September go, or not go. I know I got to get it wherever the gear got to be in place by October, which gives me some breathing room. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you always want to be ahead when you got a family, you know what I mean? And you trying to make that transition.
You talking about paying bills.
Or else you're going to be behind.
You talking about paying bills.
Yeah.
So ambiguous, whatever. So one of the biggest things, and this is the hardest thing ever, like you really got to be patient with them. You got to be patient and you cannot press because that will cause so much conflict in arguments. If you try to press, I definitely say I was patient at the very beginning. The closer we got to that year mark, that's when I started getting impatient. Definitely from in my personal perspective. I don't know how he feels about it, but because I really didn't care as far as working and stuff. I didn't care about that at the beginning, but for me, the hardest thing for me was, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way about your men. Like I look at him as having a boatload of potential, right? I see him as somebody who can accomplish a lot and do big things in his life. So it was such a struggle for me to watch him literally sleep his life away on the couch and watch TV all day.
Yo, AJ funny.
Mike said, "Do" in his Baltimore drawl. Oh God, I hate the Baltimore accent. But for me, the biggest struggle with him was like I've spent the last few years of my life, like go, going after my goals, doing this, doing that, and spending every minute of my day like trying to accelerate myself.
Bucking against that.
So him coming home, all you do all day is lay around in the cell, read, or whatever it is that you do, and they bring that home with them. So I'm like, I don't understand. You're home. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ah, that's me. We gonna do this. Yeah.
On the west side, Colin, that's where I'm from. West side, Baltimore, White Lock City. You heard me.
So me, I got all these ambitions and plans and like, we gonna get it. And you got me over here with all this energy and plans and
I'll be with it,
turning potential into action. And he over here like,
I'm saying, right? But the thing is this, right? Like I'm gonna keep it a whole buck, right? The gurus and stuff that I be hearing or listen to and stuff like that, right? I'm like, yo, now I'm not saying that these people don't know what they know and they not saying the right stuff and putting you on the right path or whatever. But I'm like, yo, if you gave me, you know what I'm saying, 1.5, you know, in the account, I could get up there and speak the same type of stuff. Like I've been telling you the same type of stuff. It's just because it's coming from me, you don't be listening to it. So it be blowing me. Like when she say, oh, hey, such and such, I've read such and such and such and such. I'm like, I've been told you that. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't receive it because I don't have the proper credentials, you know, or I'm your husband. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it wasn't received when I said it. Like, I'm a whole guru, but I don't have what they have. You know what I mean? Yo, the shit ain't hard. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing, keep doing, keep this, do that, make this, get that template, fill your schedule, fill your calendar. Like, it's not that difficult. You know what I'm saying? And y'all pay like $1,500, $2,000. That's the hustle. I got in the wrong hustle for real. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
So definitely I say, don't get caught in the trap of talking a lot about their potential, because that's probably like more deflating maybe for
yeah, anybody with a half a brain, you know, or ingenuity, resourcefulness, whatever, they know what their potential could be. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to sit back and watch.
And
that's the hard part, because when you know you have somebody that has potential and you see them not aspiring or going after it, it's hard to sit back and watch. That's
the thing is this. The thing is this. We who were the incarcerated have put ourselves behind the 8 ball. So it's not always in the stars to explore the potential right then and there. Sometimes the potential got to take a back seat to the paycheck. You know what I mean? And when you get to chasing the paycheck, it's like, yo, I don't even feel like dealing with the potential. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't feel like punching it take everything in you to wake up, go do whatever it is you gotta do, make the money, and come home. You know what I'm saying? And be in a reasonably good mood. And then it's like, yo, it's still got people pulling on me and wanting more to give. Now I ain't got nothing else left to give because it took everything in me to roll up out of bed and have a decent enough attitude so I wouldn't slap the shit out of one of my coworkers, you know what I'm saying, in order to maintain a paycheck. You know, and you get lost in that type of stuff, you know, until you can find a balance and, you know, make both things work. But it's not going to work off the, you know, immediately or right away. It's not. You know, it's like, yo, one or the other for right now until I get tired of it. And I start seeking different. You know what I'm saying? But right now, that's what's important.
I don't know, whatever the conflict you are dealing with, I think one of the biggest things also you got to be cautious about, whatever the topic is. If you're talking about money, if you're talking about jobs, or feeling like he has a lack of motivation, or it could be conflicts about sex or intimacy. One of the things that definitely I think you got to be cautious of is not making your home a place of turmoil, in keeping some type of balance, and not making it so tense in the house that he wants to seek
I'm one of them type of people. I roll.
That he wants to seek refuge outside of the house. You know, I think that's the biggest thing, and not letting the conflicts get out of control. You wanna?
Well, I think he want me.
Oh, not letting the conflicts get out of control to the point where he feels like he doesn't want to be in the house. He feels like he doesn't want to be around you, and he's going out somewhere else seeking peace. So it's like you got to speak your mind. You can't be afraid to speak up for what you need in a relationship when you're speaking to somebody who's formerly incarcerated. But it's like you got to watch how you talk to them. You can't belittle them. Can't make them feel this small, because remember, they're coming from an environment where they're probably already feeling that way, where they're,
post-incarceration sleep. How is that?
Wow. Don't let me explain that one. Okay, wait a minute. Post-incarceration sleep looks like this. This is me. Okay, I'm gonna be me first. I might move around in the bed. All of a sudden, this is him. That was him when he first came home.
Yeah, you said nobody in the bed. What you like? What is you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, there were periods of time.
What?
That was on and off. Then the long period where it was off.
No, what I'm saying is while you're in prison, you're not used to having.
She said post-incarceration. She said post-incarceration.
Right, but you bring that same mentality home.
But that's my point. Like when he slept, I'm gonna put that quotation marks. He slept very lightly. I didn't think he was asleep, because if you hear the door crack or if you move your pinky like this, he gets startled. Like he used to wake up and go, I was like, what's wrong with you? And after a while, it just became normal. And it's just like me and the kids weren't in living phases anymore. But I'm happy to say he don't do it anymore. Like he's calmed down with that stuff. He don't get startled. Now he just be upset when people making noise when you're trying to sleep. I'm like, like he get angry easily or upset if someone making too much noise or doing something.
It'd be so hard. It'd be so hard for me to sleep, right? Because like as soon as I wake up, it's like one of them pulling on my leg, one of them pulling on my arm, asking me questions.
That's not always
when
true.
When that. It's not always true, but it's mostly true. You know what I'm saying?
You have the same reaction whether it's true or not. That's what's funny about it.
I mean, it's heavy. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just come home from work yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I came home from work. Soon, I didn't even make it in the door. I'm walking to the door. One of my sons say, hey, I was wondering if you're going to play with me. I'm like, I can't even think about playing right now, dog. I'm tired. Like, what are you talking about?
I have a question for you. Was it hard making that transition, or because when you're in prison, you sleep lightly for safety reasons. Was it hard making that transition to home to tell your body, tell your mind that it's okay to sleep and not be afraid?
It wasn't hard. It just was a process.
I mean, were there nights where you're like, man, I want to sleep more deeply or get into a deep sleep, but I can't?
Nah, it wasn't that. It was just that I don't sleep deeply. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not anything that you can really control. It's not any, you know what I'm saying? So that right there is like, I don't tell myself, I know it ain't no threats in this house. But at the end of the day, that's something that's been ingrained. So, you know what I mean? That's a process to, reacclimate yourself to society.
But did you have to actually verbally tell yourself, Mike, it's okay? You can go to sleep.
Me? No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really do all of that in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, somebody crossed that threshold. Yo, you know what it is. I'm going to die. You going to die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You maybe verbally didn't say it, but it's very evident to me that you did do that because you wouldn't have been such a light sleeper.
I mean, yeah, you got to be like a fireman. You know what I'm saying? Like, your boots right by the bed. You jump down, jump straight in the boots.
Yeah, like you could not make a sound around him. And it was frustrating. It was definitely frustrating. Because you got to walk on eggshells as in being quiet when he's sleeping. Because like you don't want to disturb his sleep, but it's like, man, you can't even move in your own house because every little noise startles him, and you ain't trying to deal with the or the sorry.
Yeah.
I just have fun doing that. But he don't do it no more. It does go away. That caused a little bit of conflict, but it wasn't heavy. It wasn't heavy though. I take a lot from my boss and patients. And I asked D if he could do the same, and he could, and he said he could, but might quit. Me, I'm doing it for my fam that got me upset. He can't handle it.
I mean, it's not that he can't handle it. It's like a lot of times we won't handle with certain stuff. Like, yo, she already know. Like, if I get to coming home and I'll be like, yo, babe, look, hey, boy, hey, this supervisor or this, that, so forth and the other, or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure she started counting down in her head, like, man, look, we probably got about like 2 more paychecks left. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, like, it's hard to go from such a heavy structure, you know, in which you got to ask to use the bathroom for real. Because if you locked out your cell, you know what I mean, and you got to use the bathroom and your cell shut, then yeah, you got to ask the CO, can you open my door because I got to go to the bathroom, and you got to explain yourself and all that other goofy stuff, you know, to you working, being free, you know, and I put that in quotations, you know, but you working and your boss is like implementing some of the same type of structures, you know, and it sets off certain triggers the way as though, man, I'm not going for that. I had one boss that said, yo, I'm going to go across your face. I dropped the shovel and said, man, I'm with all the smoke. I'm with all the smoke. You know what I mean? We can figure this shit out right here. And he wasn't just the boss. He was the owner. You know what I mean? The next day, I got my check and a pink slip. You know why? Because, yo, you can't talk to me that type. I don't care how you talk to them. You can't talk to me that type of way. And since you don't have no cut cards, so you say, and you're not scared of nobody, so you say, when you meet somebody that's the same way, a lot of times they fold and they give you the pink slip. You know what I'm saying? We already know that going in, man. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. You know what I mean? I'm tiptoeing around this Mexican that I'm working with now. I don't like him. You know what I mean? I really don't like him. He don't like me. But at the end of the day, you know, money got to be made. You know what I mean? Yo, leave me alone. I'm going to leave you alone. Simple as that. You know what I mean?
I just thought of something.
I'm fortunate, though. I don't have a problem with finding jobs. Decent ones.
While you were talking, what came to mind was you got to be willing to, well, number one, you need to know what you stand for. You need to know, one, as I mentioned earlier, you need to know what your boundaries are for you as a person. And then that goes back to what we were talking about, respect, and also your boundaries for what you want in your mate and what you're going to be willing to accept. One, that's self-worth. And there's going to be there possibly could come a point where you have to be willing, I don't know how else to say this, but willing to walk away. And when I say that, I mean not stand for any old thing that he brings to your front door. Because I feel like there's going to be a point where you're going to get challenged. And I think that challenge for us came from you getting out of your deceptive ways from being in prison. And for me, that was my cut line. Like, honesty for me is huge. And I think he had mentioned about getting out of that mental space of being truthful or not being deceptive because, of how you had to move in prison and transitioning out of that. For me, like, I cannot deal with lying and all that. I need to be able to trust him, right? And I'm sure you probably feel the same way about your man dealing with trust issues. That was a huge, 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 huge thing, definitely for me. And when I say you have to be willing to walk away, you got to be willing to express and show him that this is not something that you are going to allow.
I mean,
in your relationship,
saying that
relationship.
Though, it's a way you do it.
Can I explain that? Just get my point across.
It's a way you do it because at the end of the day, the way it was done,
I didn't finish saying what I had to say.
Push me to the edge. All right, go ahead.
My point is, what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to be willing to stand up and know when enough is enough, because he's gonna push. It may not be on purpose, but like getting him from point A of being in that prison mentality to point B of him transitioning into who that person is, who he's meant to be, or how he should be moving in this world. Because as you know, they're two different worlds. You gotta draw the line somewhere about how much you're able to tolerate and what you're going to stand for, and what's a deal breaker for yourself. You got to know that, and you got to stand on it, and you got to communicate that to him. Because if not, I guarantee you things will never change. If you're not willing to stand on your own beliefs and what you believe is healthy for your relationship or what you need in your relationship, it is impossible to get to that point where you succeed. And you got to know what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not, what you'll let go, right? Those jobs are like prison too.
Yeah, man.
Demeaning men, talking to them like that's a different thing.
That's what they do.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many different dimensions though.
And to me, it seemed like it's harder. Yo, the bigger you is in them type of jobs, it seemed like the worse they talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got these guys, these nerds, these squares, these lames that's in position now, that weren't in position when they was in college. They weren't in position when they was in high school, and they took all the smoke. You know what I mean? They had to give what dudes like us gave to them. You know what I mean? So now we get on this side of the fence, man. Hey, I represent whatever bullied them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they think. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm blessed in that I'm able to obtain, good employment. You know what I mean? It really don't take me long, but that's a gift and a curse as well. You know what I mean? Because I don't mind walking. I don't mind speaking my mind. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and the Mexican dude just got into it. You know what I mean? Yo, get to going, man, talking to me about cleaning, sweeping. You know what I mean? Just because he came in a little bit earlier, man, I got a son that I said, listen, G, we ain't even got to go through all of that. We ain't got to go through all of that. Let's leave that right there. Before you even go any further, let's leave that right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and get it done. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because anything else past that, we're going to have a misunderstanding and it's going to be bad on my end. So I'm gonna go ahead on and end it, and say both of us, the bullshit. Because you don't know what you're saying to me. You just saying some shit, that you just think, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm gonna get out on him real quick. No, you're not gonna get out. You know what I mean? We in a room by ourselves right now. I will make you feel like a child. I will make you feel like your son. But I'm not gonna do that. Let's just keep it cool. Let's be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Dudes be playing with real men, yo.
Julie says, yes, and like you said, communicate and be patient. But it's a struggle because I want what I want, but you've helped me to give me better understanding to be more patient. Patience is an understatement, girl. You need lots of patience. Oh my goodness. Yes, lots of patience. More than you think that you even know. And I would say definitely I'm somebody who was I feel like there's some women out here who don't listen and heed the advice of others who are ahead of where they are, and they believe that they don't really understand how difficult this journey is going to be. They're under the misconception that when they come home, it's going to be so much easier. It's going to be so happy when they walk through the door, and they have no idea. Y'all have no idea.
You got a 48-hour window.
Like, I promise you, I even said to myself, like, life was easier when he was locked up. If that don't give you a clue, if that don't clue y'all into what I'm saying, I mean, there's no way to express it until you actually go through it. And like I said, there are outliers. There are people who probably aren't going to go through what we went through. There's people out there who want to have it easy. Every situation is not the same. However, don't fall into the trap of thinking that things are going to be the same as when he left. If he was previously in the home, he's not going to be the same person. He's not going to be the same husband. He's not going to be the same father. No. I need y'all to hear me on that. It's not going to be the same. So whatever picture, thought, expectation that you have, throw that. I'm going to give you a wastebasket and y'all going to do this. Woo-hoo, score! Whatever expectation you have.
Hey, yo, AJ funny.
Yo, I mean, which one are you reading? The black man, the shaking in the boots?
No. AJ said when he come home, let him clip his toenail and stay out the window for 8 months. That's what he used to.
That's what he's capable of.
I mean, you're not too far off the mark there, though. It depending on how long he stayed in. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but it isn't. See, here's where the dilemma lies. It is impossible when you have a woman at home that's been holding it down, who is on her P's and Q's. It is so hard to watch your man just sit there and just clip toenails. Oh my God. You will never last 8 months like that, which is where you're just like, oh, it's the hardest thing ever. So it's a seesaw. It's a balance between keeping them encouraged, but not pushing them back into the street or pushing them off the edge mentally. It is like, you need a coach. Like, no bull. Like, if there was somebody out there that could have helped me along, which is, God.
Hey, yo, no, that's the thing, though, Julie. I don't know all of the neighbors' business. But they know me. They know me. When I came home, I had man, let me stop.
Yes, that's why I like your videos, because
certain neighbors stayed indoors when I came home.
Julie said our situations are similar. And definitely a total different person than over the phone. Oh, that's what he does literally. Oh, she said that's what he does literally. But that's a good analogy. They come home and clip toenails. Keep your expectations very low. That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, yeah, but it's a time to raise the bar, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is a time to raise the bar.
We bar raisers, and like I said, you can't. It's hard to sit back and watch him not do nothing. So, and he knows I am. I am definitely a high achieving type of person. Like, and I'm always doing something or got a new goal every month. That's me. So, but just to recap it all, one, there will definitely be conflicts. You can bet your bottom dollar. And when they come up, patience, patience, patience. You have no idea what it's like being in prison, and it's going to take you a while to get to that mental space to really sit there. You will have to take the back burner on a lot of stuff. You have to set your own feelings, and that attitude of feeling like you owe me because I did this attitude. Chuck it up. You can't you will never get anywhere healthy in your relationship if you can't set your own feelings or resentment aside. You gotta sometimes, God, you really have to be the bigger person. You got, especially if they went in when they were young, you gotta be the bigger person, because sometimes I felt like I was dealing with a child. I hate to say it, but it felt like that sometimes. And you have to be.
In some respects, yeah, you is. Like at the end of the day, like it's no knock on me. I know what my strengths is and my weaknesses, and my strengths is like amazing, but my weaknesses is detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, honestly, when society was learning how to balance checkbooks and make budgets and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was selling dope and picking up a gun. You know what I mean? I was sharpening knives and, you know what I mean, learning how to defend myself. You know, reading books, you know what I mean? Reading the Robert Greens and, you know, Sheik had the Diops and this, that, so forth, and O'Malley Yeshatillas, and yeah.
Oh, here's some good advice for you. Don't chastise, teach. Right? I gotta remind myself at the beginning, not so much now. If it's something that, and this is especially for the men who've been gone for years. Don't chastise, don't assume, but teach. If you can remember that. When you're in a mindset of teaching, teachers have to be patient, right? Right? You're a teacher. Be a teacher, if that makes sense. That might put it into perspective. And that may apply more so to definitely men who've been gone for longer periods of time.
It do, man.
Yeah.
Men that's been gone for little bits, man. They don't. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not changed, but
don't assume they know something.
Dudes like me, like I spent all my young adult years locked up for work.
That's true. Even though we've only spent 6 years together on this bid, I forgot that he spent a good portion of his adult life in prison. But that didn't resonate with me because I was not with him during that time. So, yeah. And what else? Other thing? Don't belittle him. Don't say things like you didn't know that.
Yo, that's
you didn't know that.
Worst.
You can belittle somebody by the tone of your voice.
That's the
how
worst.
you say it. It's not just the words you use, right? So these are all things you'll get. I mean, you're not going to just be able to do it right off the bat. It's going to take you time because you're going to want to jab at him when he pisses you off or he does something. That's just human nature. So it takes time to get out of that headspace.
The thing is when you jab, like we go for knockout blows, you know what I'm saying? And so a regular spat that you just wanted to get some get back on become a full-blown war, and you like, yo, how we get to Funky Town? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't expect to be in Funky Town for a week. Nah, but you in Funky Town. You know what I mean? Why? Because of the delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like that statement right there. You know what? You ain't know that? You know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, man, I will see fire. You know what I mean?
You know you're getting better when you can have a conflict or disagreement and be okay faster. It took, at least for me, it would take me days or maybe even weeks to get over something. Now, because I've set aside my want or need to make him feel bad for hurting me, or upsetting me, that need to make that for him to feel that, I don't hold on to that. Like I
mean,
used
yeah,
to.
and I don't either.
I don't, you know, yeah. So that's when you know you're getting better because you don't hold on to stuff or feel like he needs to pay for what he did.
That little spat earlier would have sent us in the funky town for at least 3 days.
Oh, a week. I was gonna say
a week. Easy. Yeah.
Because I really was angry.
Yeah, and then I'm looking.
Actually, I was better before you were.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was.
Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, you was.
Normally, but that's also the fact that he gets over stuff faster. In my opinion, I believe it's because he's dealt with a lot more pain in his life, and it's just
it takes me no time to really.
It literally it took him a while to understand that it takes me time to get over pain and hurt. I'm not accustomed to that. This is his daily life. It's like brushing his teeth. So he was able to get over.
Like, and I'm like, yo, why is you still hopping? Like, I get over it, won't even speak about it.
I need to speak about stuff 3 or 4 times. I need to have 3 or 4 conversations about the same thing on repeat before I feel better about the situation. And he just feels like, let me say this. Never let them box you into saying, all right, we talked about it, we're done. Don't ever bring it up again. No, that's not fair, because if I need to speak about it 3 more times in order to feel okay about it, that is what I need. Two things. I think there were 2 things to this, 2 parts to this. Early on, he would do that. He would push stuff to the side and try to end conversations quickly because he was doing something that was in the wrong, and he was trying to skate through it. That was one aspect of it. That definitely was a lot when you were incarcerated. Whenever he tried to brush over stuff, it was because he was trying to avoid talking about something because something was awry.
That could. I mean, right? But at the end of the day, it don't take me no time to get over stuff.
But that was just one.
I done been cut deep and said, man, forget it.
That's one aspect of it. And the second aspect is, just because he's okay doesn't mean you have to be okay. If you need more time to resolve something, to work through something, it is okay to take the time. Don't feel boxed into thinking that because he's fine and he's ready to move on, that you have to be okay with it, right? Because we all are heal in different time frames, right? Because what he may think something's not that serious, but for you, it was really serious. And that's just the difference between you and him, right? He might not think it's a big deal, but you think it's a big deal. So you need more time to heal from it. But don't let him, and in his aspect too, do not let one partner dictate how long it takes to heal from a certain conflict. That's important. I feel they can shut it out because of what they've been through. It's not as serious. Yeah. He's dealt with more pain in his life, so he can brush stuff off faster. I cannot, because I have not had the same life experiences as him.
The thing is this. I have an issue with her about whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, without even getting specific, you know what I'm saying? About her hurting me in some sort of way. That issue ain't gonna be as heavy as my man trying to kill me over $20,000 because he felt like I was up. You know what I'm saying? So, when you relate the 2 things, it's like, that ain't even heavy, Whatever, I spoke my piece. It's over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at some point, maybe about 5 months ago, we made a decision we don't do it anymore, but I think we did it for about maybe 4 weeks. We would meet on Fridays. We scheduled a time, I think during the height of all of our conflicts, where we were just batting heads, like hitting the heads up against the wall. We scheduled a time. Actually, no, that wasn't the worst time. It got worse after that. Yeah. It got worse after that.
That's when all of it stopped.
Oh, my God. we made a plan to meet every Friday, I think maybe at 10, just to talk because we weren't talking.
No.
And there was a space where we literally unofficially made a decision not to talk because we were just sick of arguing, sick of the conflict. So it was just better for us. We just couldn't take it anymore. I think we both were in the same mental space. Like, look, we just trying to have a peaceful day. So I'm just not going to talk to you. I ain't gonna bring.
Hey, yo.
I ain't gonna bring nothing up that's gonna ruffle your feathers because I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me today.
Yeah. Hey, yo, I cut the TV on and zone straight out on SportsCenter and watch the same episodes over and over and over and over and over again.
So, so Julie said they're there now. Julie, how long has your man been home? I definitely think there's just like different like stages that you go through, man. You really do. The silent stage, the arguing, the combative stage. You arguing all the time. Yeah. Right now, I feel like we're moving more into a peaceful place. Like moving into that space where we have set our own hurt to the side and really are coming together for the good of the relationship.
I mean, yeah.
We're supposed to be going to therapy. We got to get back on that. Getting to a place of peace now.
At the end of the day, yo, like when you guys smoke in a household.
Oh, so she's 8 months. Okay, I know where she at.
when you guys smoke in a household, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just.
It does get better.
I don't just take it out on her. Like the kids feel it, and then you feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an overall snowball effect. For me, it's just more so me thinking, me putting forethought into my reactions, or my mindset, you know what I mean? Because any least little thing can piss me off. I got a head trigger, but at the end of the day, I just let certain stuff go without even speaking on it, because it in the big scheme of things, it don't even make a difference. Why make something small big? You know what I'm saying? When it's going to be big shit that come down the line, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know when the next big thing is going to come right down the line. So why I'm going to keep making small stuff big? You know what I mean? That's how I try to look at things now. But it's a process.
I think because there was such a lack, for me, there was such a lack of trust when he came home. Like, I lost so much trust for him. Like, literally, I didn't know people were going to make it. Like seriously.
I mean, yeah, me neither.
And yeah, so I mean, we definitely got to a point where it was bad. AJ. My point was about bringing it up. There has to be a very, very high level of transparency.
A high level of transparency.
It has to be a high.
That's how he felt. That's how he felt.
You just put your butt all up in the camera and then let it loose.
That's how he felt. So, that's how I
when
felt.
The trust has been broken
that's how I felt.
So severely, like literally, hey honey, I just brushed my teeth. I'm just going into the bathroom to brush my teeth right now. Okay, thanks. Like I'm joking right now, but I'm so serious. Like literally, that is what I needed. I need to know where you're going. I need to know what you're doing on your phone. Who are you talking to? Whose toothbrush is that? How many miles are on that car? Like in the movie, what's that Tyler Perry movie? What's the Tyler Perry movie with a black chick, dark-skinned chick?
This shit.
No, this is how I felt. I'm not endorsing. No, I am dead serious.
Why I get married?
Why did I get married? Is that the movie?
Yeah.
I'm being dead ass. I'm not joking with y'all. Like, the trust level was so low. I mean, like beyond. Like, I need to know where you clip your toenails at. Like, I'm being dead, right? Like I'm so serious. Like, What about intimacy? You know, doggone well, all that said on the phone ain't like that when they get home. I think at the beginning, there's like that infatuation stage
Okay.
or phase that you go through.
Okay.
I was definitely all over him. Oh my goodness. And then that lasted for maybe 2 weeks. Not because of me, but because he started distancing himself and I felt like he was pushing himself away from me. And I thought it was me. I felt so unwanted. I really did. So you got sexual intimacy, and then you got intimacy, like I guess, what would you call it? Emotional intimacy? What would you call it?
I don't know. I think all of it.
The physical.
Yo, why did you suck at my cheek?
The physical intimacy, at least between us, definitely dissipated after 2 weeks. It was very short-lived.
Kissing me.
Very short-lived. It was very disappointing. Let me tell you that. Man.
There you go.
Deflation. Let me call. Intimacy, as in like non-sexual intimacy. I don't know. I kind of felt like it was non-existent.
No, I'm not gonna keep giving you my nose to suck on.
I feel like it was non-existent. Yeah, I definitely felt very unwanted. I thought, is he cheating on me? Like, I don't know.
The thing is,
I felt it was that was a hard time for me. It was really hard for me because I thought it was me. I definitely thought it was me, but
the thing is this: what y'all don't understand is it's a lot of stuff that goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not used to having, first of all, if you've been down for any amount of time, you're not used to having nobody in your personal space, first of all. So that's something to get over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when you first come home, it's like, oh my God, I'm with my woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, titties, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, that only is like for, you know, like a hot second till you realize, damn, me and my and you start thinking, you know, when sex isn't just sex, you know, it is, you know what I mean? Because it's very mentally detached when you first come home. You know what I mean? But when you start you know, attaching, you know, re-hardwiring yourself, you like, I don't feel comfortable right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in my personal space. This is my personal space.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And you used to just being alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you when you squeeze one off, you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that year after year after year, day after day after day. And you know, it seems like y'all expect us to boom, just change overnight, you know what I'm saying? Just because when we first came home, we was mentally detached. No, we was fucking. We wasn't having intimate sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't. You know what I mean? And when you start doing that, then, you know, you start backing away a little bit, and the woman think that it's her, but it's not. It's you trying to figure you out and trying to you get upset because you like, yo, I shouldn't be like this. This shouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
I think every woman, not every, but majority of women feel like it's just going to be sexual bliss and intimacy because y'all have been away from each other for so long, or maybe you never had the opportunity, and that's not just exactly what he just said. And you got to realize that it's not, in most cases, I will assume if it's a real relationship, it's not you per se.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't her.
It's the adjustment of him coming home. And that was our first conflict.
We just started. I mean, like, I've been home a year and some change. We just started having great sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a process. You gone for a certain amount of time. You know, like, it don't happen overnight. You know, and you got to each other.
This is after a period of a long drought. We went through that too.
Yeah.
Because we were batting heads,
Yeah.
man. Oh my goodness. It was so bad for me at one point that I was like, and I'm not saying this because I thought he was cheating on me. Like really, like I know there were times at the very beginning I was like, man, is he? But I really don't think he was cheating on me. Like, but I'm saying my trust level was so low that I felt unconnected with him that I wanted to use a condom. Like, that's how bad it got. Not because I thought he was out there running around on me, but because I felt so disconnected.
All of this is depressing. I'm ready to roll.
It's not depressing.
That just was depressing for me right there. I'm just a minute.
What? It was just the truth. I mean, it's not like that anymore.
No, I ain't saying that.
I'm just speaking to history. But
yeah, you're right, nigga boy.
People need to hear this. This is like real stuff. I mean, if y'all want to go hear some fluff and go hear some rah-rah, you can do it. So y'all can go to somebody else's page.
You trying to
I don't know what to say. I'm just giving y'all the truth. These are just the stages that we went through. Are you going to be there forever? No. I truly believe if both of you want to make it work, it will happen. It will work out. But I mean, this is the stages that we had to get through to get to where we are right now. We are at a place of peace. We are finally at a place where if we have a conflict, it doesn't take weeks or days to get over it because we set ourselves aside for the greater good of the relationship. That is where we have come to right now. And I believe he's a better father now. Like, you know, he's better on so many different avenues. And the one thing I never want to see him do is to get to a place where we are in so much conflict that he feels better somewhere else outside the house, or he feels pressured to go do something that would land him back in jail. To me, that is the worst possible scenario. So I will always lay myself down and try to recover myself or get myself in a mental space where I can calm down and think of the greater good at the end of the day, because that is the worst case scenario for me. Getting him so uproared to the point, whether it's about money, making him feel like he's got to provide, to the point where he feel like he got to go out and do something illegal. That is my worst nightmare.
Yo, she ain't even say nothing to me about money or providing or nothing like that, you know, for the past couple. And I'm a whole month ahead. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, you don't have to remind what his responsibilities are. He knows it. He just got to figure out how to take care of them in his way. But you don't have to remind him what his responsibilities are if you got a man. You know what I'm saying? He'll figure it out, you know, or he'll humble himself and come to you for some sort of help. What you don't want to do, though, is continue to remind him of what his responsibilities are, because he will resent you for it, because he will feel like, damn, what she think, I'm dumb? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I know what I got to take care of. Like, I see him running around here. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, she didn't have to say that to me. All the time she was saying certain little stuff to me or whatever like that, I'm pulling up short in the rear. She starts saying and stuff to me, I'm ahead. You know what I mean?
That's not 100%, because I didn't say anything to you at the very beginning. Or
you didn't say that to me at the very beginning.
The first 6-7 months, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I never.
But I was on house arrest for the first 6 months.
But you were still able to get a job. But that wasn't my whole token. Was that I didn't want you to get a job. I didn't even want him to get a job when he came home. Not right away. And I remember your grandma said, "Let that man tell that man to get a job." Like, no, but my head, I'm like, no, I don't want him to get a job, because I want him to come home and relax and get his head together, right? All right, it's late. It's almost 11:30, so we're gonna cut this short. But yeah, so this main takeaways, man. Maintain a level of peace in your house, but do not set your feelings to aside to the point where you feel resentful. It is never good to not speak your mind. That's not a healthy relationship. You should want to speak your mind. And
AJ, you always get a high salute. Carla, appreciate you.
give us some thumbs up, yo. Let the algorithms know we're doing good. And if you don't already follow us or subscribe, please subscribe. Yeah, welcome to let us know if any other topics I want to talk about. But yeah, it does get better. If you two are willing to work at it, it will get better. I promise you. You just gotta keep pushing through that fire. Even if you get to that point where you're like, man, divorce is on the horizon, like you gotta.
Don't mention the D word unless that shit.
You mentioned it to me. Why you bring it up? I'm curious because you said that to me a few weeks back.
I don't know, cause I
He
mean,
asked me
if
I wanted a divorce.
Because at that point, like I'm like, yo, look, I ain't trying to keep nobody that ain't trying to be kept. You know what I'm saying? Nor am I trying to stay.
But that had always been a rule that we had, not to bring that word up.
You know what I mean? And
why did you decide?
I mean, at that point, you know, I was letting you know, hey, look, I can roll tonight if that's what you want. I can leave like right now. Like I ain't trying to hold on to you. I ain't trying to do none of that. Like I can go like right now. You know, and
is that what you wanted?
It was wrong of me to it was not what I wanted, but it was the impression that I left on certain previous conversations that I'm like, yo, I left the impression that I needed you. I don't need nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I left that impression, I felt like I did myself a disservice. So I was allowing you, like, yo, look, hey, look, we can back out the driveway right now and figure it out, at a different time. But that's where I was. That's the mental space that I was coming from at that time.
Do you think that was a good idea? Are you okay with saying that to me now, looking back?
Yeah.
You are. Even though you had a rule never to bring that word up. So you changed your perspective on it?
Nah, I changed. Nah, I ain't gonna say I changed my perspective because it was real. You know what I'm saying? And if it's real, it's real. You know what I'm saying?
So in that time and frame, in that space, you were willing to walk away?
Yeah. And I felt like honestly,
that kind of hurts a little bit.
I mean, well, the thing is I felt like at that time frame, in that time space, that needed to be said in order for both of us to reset. And I felt like both of us reset it. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because no, I really wasn't trying to leave. 2, you didn't really want me to leave. So let's stop acting like it. You know what I mean? Simple as that, and it allowed us to reset. So no, I don't feel like it was the wrong move. I feel like that was the move of the moment, because it was real, and that forced us both to look at things and say,
AJ said midnight with the means.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
the longest we ever been on here.
That really felt like that was the move of the moment, like, yo, it forced us both to say, all right, I don't really want him to go. So I'm going to stop saying certain things. I'm like, yo, I don't really want to go. So I'm going to start doing certain things. And that's the way it went.
What was the biggest thing that you said that you were going to do to help us as a whole that's made the biggest impacts on us?
Work on my attitude.
What did you say? What exactly are you doing? That's how
keeping my energy clean, man.
What does keeping your energy clean mean?
Not being combative, man. Like not being combative, like really trying to stay away from the combat zone when it comes to my family. At the end of the day, y'all not the enemy. So I don't treat you like
AJ, we ain't hanging at midnight.
Nah, man, we gotta go. I'm gone, yo. I got a date with Mortal and I'm getting ready to get into this Mortal Kombat.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Lord. Let me read the last of these comments. Sometimes it has to go that far, like a reality check.
Yo, stinky butt.
Yeah, I hear you on that one,
stinky butt.
Wait a minute. Things are coming to the surface tonight. Listen to each other. Oh, girl. AJ, things always come to the surface, especially on Friday nights.
Yeah,
Woo,
man. Hey.
But this is peaceful. We don't have nothing to really talk about, do we?
Nah, man.
I don't think we got anything to talk about tonight.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling hard.
Thank you, y'all, for joining me. Or not me, joining us. And for those of you who are in need of more support, as you know, we are coaching, helping you recognize what a healthy relationship looks like, and also how to maintain a healthy relationship for the sole purpose of helping you get to a point where you can stop worrying and stop focusing on all the negative stuff and really get back to focusing on you so you're not feeling lost and you're out here doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life, and that's living and living to the fullest and getting out here achieving your goals, because that's definitely what I want to see you guys do. So really it's about learning how to be in a healthy relationship and learning how to balance that out with you being your best you. So if that is you, if you want more help with that, please hit me up. You can send me a DM at Fit Prison Wife or leave a comment on here, and I will definitely get you some more information.
I can't move.
You can't move. I can get them for you. But I think definitely the blessing with having both of us here is you got the perspective of somebody who was on the outside, me, somebody who was on the inside. You can speak from the perspective of what it feels like being on the inside and dealing with a relationship and understanding how people move on the inside. Because some people need to hear that. Because you got people in there who manipulating people, and y'all need to know, make sure it ain't y'all. That's important too. All right. Oh,
yeah. I mean, and if it is, y'all how to shut the manipulation down and get real. You know, because not all manipulation comes from an evil beginning. You know what I'm saying? But because manipulation is so prevalent and the will to survive is so human and innate, manipulation becomes a part of everyday conversation, and it might not be malicious, but it's manipulation all the same. And if you got a nigga that's doing it and you see it, you shut it down and y'all still good, now y'all got a real relationship without all of the bullshit.
Because it can blossom into something.
Oh yeah.
It start out negative, but
if a nigga solid, he's solid.
Yeah.
But all of us got inconsistencies as humans. All of us got inconsistencies as humans. You know what I'm saying? But just because that might be an aspect, that don't mean that he ain't solid. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta weed that shit out. The same way that he gotta weed out the inconsistencies in you that he don't like.
Which comes back to standing up for yourself. We talked about earlier.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to stand up for yourself, then you'll never get to the point of recognizing.
If you're not willing to leave him and let him go, yo, you manipulating yourself. No bullshit.
We're gonna leave on that note. Bye-bye.